What If by Sage of Time. What if we're wrong? What if everything we know, everything our parents told us about the ancient gods, is wrong? What if the sacred realm is just a joke played on us by those who swore to protect us? What if the chosen ones were just put in place to make us feel like we actually had power in this world? What if the sacred Triforce left in the sacred realm was just a symbol of their taunts? As if they're saying, look at what power could be yours if we would allow you to have it. Sadly, we won't, and there's nothing you can do about it. What if by giving the Triforce of power to Ganon, the gods tried to annihilate us out of cruelty? What if the ancient sages were just spies set in place to make sure no one causes trouble? What if their precious temples are just outposts that they built to do their spying from? What if the reason that the gods chose them as the sages is because they have the greatest influence amongst their people? What if we are all just here as pawns, just playing pieces for the gods' enjoyment? What if our fates are determined just as a show to appease their pettiness? What if these gods are no gods at all? What if, because of their power, we thought them as gods, but in reality they are just cruel, conceited, vain, frivolous overlords? What if I'm the one who's wrong? What if everything I've talked about is just stupid observations that have no ground? What if everything is as we were told, and I'm just an idiot for thinking otherwise? However, what if you're the one who's wrong? What if all I've said is true, and you're just too stubborn to believe it? You see, sometimes we don't need all the answers to believe something. Sometimes we just need to take a leap of faith. What if what I'm saying is really true? What if you're just too content living in your little illusion of reality to even listen? What if you want to just go on living in the dark because you don't want to maybe realize that your whole life you've been believing a lie? What if the truth isn't valuable enough to search for? Then, truth itself ceases to exist. What if? That was What If. Final thoughts? Completely devoid of rational thought. Okay, let's put aside this whole Zelda bit, because this is hardly even video game related. This was all just based around the last paragraph, and oh boy, was it devoid of rational thought. I swear, I've read this identical argument at least a dozen times, all by preteens trying to be deep. Let me just answer this the fastest way I can. This is all day one philosophy and science, but I know not everybody takes philosophy, so I'll try and explain this the best way I can. No, you do not have to take a leap of faith. If not all of the answers are there, keep using logical testing to find the answers. Assuming something is right and deciding to do a leap of faith just because there are a few untested guesses that something may not be as you already think it is irresponsible, dangerous, and stupid. Just because you yourself can't instantly prove that something is wrong doesn't mean that it has any chance of being right. Let me pose an example for you. Let's say I invented my own religion right now. Everything we know and will ever know was created by a toothpick in another plane of existence that we will never have any direct contact with. The toothpick created humans with the inability to process any information that proves or disproves that the toothpick really exists. That religion I just created is impossible to disprove by its very nature. However, that doesn't mean it has any validity whatsoever. It's still completely stupid, and the sheer idea that anyone would genuinely believe in that religion without any kind of proof or evidence to it that is testable in any way, shape, or form would be absolutely insane. I think that the author missed the point when I said I liked creepypasta theories. A creepypasta theory is a theory about what something in a game could mean using things that are actually in the game to make it believable. Not someone within the game universe having shallow and easily disproven existential quandaries. That's it for this creepypasta. Tune in again next Saturday when we tackle yet another story made and sent in by the fans with I Won't Hear the Elevator. If you want to write your own story, help peer edit a story, or even just read the stories early, check out the description where you'll find a link to the creepypasta section of my forum. You'll also find a link to the playlist of every creepypasta reading I've done. If you're interested in keeping up on my blog posts, join the Facebook fan page linked below. And if you want to support me and what I do, check out the Patreon page in the description. Remember that if you want your story to be read on the show, you must stay active on your post on the forum, as well as read the forum rules. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, sweet dreams.